Hey everybody, what's up? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Mardek, and today we are going to finally make our way into the caves for our first mission. And now that is over here into the gem mine. And theoretically, there's nothing stopping us from going and grinding up a few levels, getting some additional experience, gold, and using that to purchase some of the items that we were looking at in the previous episode. Theoretically, we might end up doing that at some point, because that is one aspect of Mardek that I'm a little bit still on the fence on, at least as to how we're going to approach it in this playthrough, is how exactly are we going to approach when and where we are going to do some grinding up to get some experience, gold, and items, skills, what have you. Anyways, here we go. Well, we're here. Took your sweet time. It is kind of true. We could have taken longer. But, yeah, I suppose we were the slowpokes, nonetheless. Right, we shouldn't dilly-dally anymore. That briefing went on long enough as it is. And think of the suffering that these captive miners must go through. We should act quickly, so they have to suffer less. Conveniently, there are 3 tunnels. And even more conveniently, each one is marked with a signpost. The middle and left ones lead to the bandit chief, and the right one here leads to the miners' cabins, which I'd assume is where the miners are being kept prisoner by bandit guards. Charla and I will go right here and rescue the prisoners. Mardek, Dugan, you go down the middle tunnel, and Steely and Emila, you take the left.
Who put you in charge, anyway? I don't like being ordered around by girls.
Nobody put me in charge. I'm just the one voicing any decisions or directions. I prefer not to think that I'm ordering anyone at all. Or that we're working together as equals. Most of us, at any rate. But does anyone have any problems with me giving these orders like this? I'll stop if any of you are uncomfortable with it. Fine by me? Well, I don't mind. You're a great leader. You're only saying what I would myself if I took charge, so I've no problem with it. Good.
I've got a damn problem with it.
Why am I not surprised? Thankfully, nobody cares what you think, Steely. You know, because they have brains.
Well, they damn well should care. I should be the leader of this party. I could beat you all up. You should listen to me.
Well, Steely, unfortunately for you, we're not. But we do need to get this mission done, lest we fail our test and the miners. So come on, let's go our separate ways now, and have no more of this bickering and banter. Farewell for now. Alright, and there you have it. We are splitting up in the gem mines. We have Steely and Emla going this way, to where the bandit chief probably is. I believe we try to go down there. Yep. Wrong way, Mardek. Then over here, the way that Donovan and Charla are going, possibly to where the miners are being held prisoner. Possibly. And then here, to probably also where the bandit chief maybe could possibly be, perhaps. Unconfirmed. Let's take a quick peek at the map as well, because, well, in the near future we will see that will prove very useful to us as we are exploring these new areas, finding out if there are any secret pathways or chests that we want to make sure that we make our way over to. Hey Mardek, I know I say this every time we go on any kind of adventure, but I'm going to remind you of the controls again. I suppose, back in the day, this was more or less the beginning of Chapter 2, or at least the first area that was new to Chapter 2, whereas now that they're all bundled under one package, that does mean that, of course, this is under the same package as Mardek 1, that we have previously played and had to introduce the controls to us in. But anyways, we can open the menu with the Enter key, and we can check our stuff from there. It'd be a good idea to sort out our reactions from the skills menu. Remember, we can trigger them using the X key in battle, just as we hit or are hit. What are you talking about? I don't see any keys. Were we supposed to bring some for locked doors or something? And what's a menu? Does that look like a restaurant? Every time, I swear. Come on, Mardek. Let's just get on with the mission. But if you ever need me for any reason, remember that you can talk to me using the P key. Though, don't expect me to have all the answers to all of our problems. I'll probably mainly just make forgettable comments about the scenery or something. So that is one other thing that we have yet to play around with too much here, but whenever we are in a party with someone like Dugan, we press the P key, we can ask to talk to them. So Dugan and actually also Rohoff, of course, the fallen angel of some sort that is currently kinda sorta possessing Mardek, or at least sharing a body with him. And so when you do this, one of two things will happen. Either, as Dugan kind of alluded to, they will make a comment about the area in which you currently find yourself, which can be interesting if you find yourself in some odd scenarios, like, for example, maybe going into a mine, venturing on your first real quote-unquote quest. That might be something of note. I feel a strange sensation in this place. More than mere bandits. I cannot say any more right now. Be on your guard, Mardek. Okay. Odd. Let's also talk to Dugan as well. Come on, mate. No time for chatting. We've got to sort out this bandit problem quickly. If we want to become guards, a good guard does his job efficiently, right? That's what Jacques taught us. So let's save as well, as we are about to head in here. And as we do so, we will find the road is splitting, and this is why we might want to break out the map, so we can see on the left side there, it looks as though there's a chest over here we might want to make our way over to. Oh, and there is a fight that we cannot skip. We'll find ourselves against some bandits. Not that we're going to be skipping many fights in here, but... So here we have... I believe, is this actually our first combat of what is now Chapter 2? It might be. So we have Dugan with the power attack again. It is very similar to what we saw when we had the kid versions of Dugan and Mardek. I forget actually if they had the power attack when they were in their mighty hero forms. I don't think so. But very similar here. Attack fiercely, 50% more powerful. However, it is less accurate. So, as you can see as well, we have never used it on Mardek Dugan in Dugan's Chapter 2 iteration. So unfortunately, any masteries that we had from Mighty Hero version of Dugan or Little Dugan don't carry over into Chapter 2. So we're starting a little bit fresh there, but for the most part, we're going to find ourselves using entirely new skills. This is a little bit of the exception there. So we'll use the power attack, get ourselves closer to mastering it, and we do land the hit. And it is pretty big. So, along those lines of new skills, we will find that Mardek has a lot of them, given how, or well, we'll have a lot of different ones, given how he now is sharing a body with a magical being of some sort, and to start things off, he now has the healing ability, which he can use on either himself or on a friend. So Dugan did get hit by the bandit, and we could theoretically take that opportunity to heal him, but instead, why don't we fight the bandit more directly? And we'll take a quick look at his stats. Bandit is Earth type, which means, as we might suspect, a little bit resistant to Earth damage, however, a little bit weak to air damage. A little bit of defenses with the leather armor and wooden shield, long sword, and the agility, I think we will find, is actually faster than either Dugan or Mardek, and that is why the bandit went first. But anyways, let's see if we can finish him off here, and that we shall. Okay, so the tiniest little bit of gold there, no items. That was just a random bandit encounter. So if we look at the map here, we can see that this is the location where we were expecting to find the chest and a silver pendant, which is actually quite nice. We were looking at one of those in town earlier. What it does is give a pretty sizable amount of magic defense, and it also gives light resistance. So Mardek has a little bit of light resistance because he is light elemental, whereas Dugan is not. that might be reason enough to give this to Dugan. It also, if I remember correctly... Oh, okay, I was gonna say, for a second, I thought it might have been one of those items that gave them minus 10% damage reaction, which Dugan does not currently have access to, so that might have been another reason to give it to Dugan. So there is another chest up here, in which case, let's head over in this direction. And it's just a little bit of coins, no big deal. Another bandit, who also hits first, and pretty sizable damage there with the crit. Let's continue to try to master power attack with Dugan. Dugan one-shots, wow. Dugan says, I can do you even better. Okay, and we actually got a longsword there, which is the same type of sword that Mardek is currently using. Granted, this one, given how we currently have all the longswords we need, is likely to be something that we could sell if we were to return to town at some point. So let's head back. It looks like this was mostly just a dead end with loot in it, not much else. And here's a new enemy we have not yet seen, a chrysophage, which is quite different from anything else that we've run into thus far. It has a lot more in the way of resistances. It has over 100, 200 light resistance, meaning it would heal if we hit it with light attacks. A lot of weakness to dark, and then, what are these? I don't know. We technically don't know yet. And it did use an ability that gave it a shield, and as you're about to see, that is going to be a bit significant. Let's see, if we try to use power attack, well, or maybe not, it would have made it so that it took less damage, and it technically did. However, with Dugan's power attack, it was just too powerful. Could not handle it. Okay, so we have another fork in the path here. Let's take a quick look, and we can see something happening up there with all those green dots. So we'll check that out in a second, but in typical RPG fashion, why don't we go in the direction that we don't think is the correct direction in order to pick up a little more loot, find ourselves against another new enemy, leech bats, who have an ability that you saw there at the very beginning that allows them to, well, leech life from us. They were on full life at the time, so it didn't make much of a difference. Ooh, and there goes our first miss with the power strike. It was going to happen at some point. It does have less accuracy, as we were saying. These guys are fairly weak, though. You can see they have low HP, so if we do land a hit, as Dugan does there, then we should manage to take him out. And just loading up a little bit more on the coins. Let's make our way on up now. Oh, another fork, however. And again, it looks like the left is the quote-unquote correct direction. So let's check this out. Ooh, and find ourselves a Ring of Strength, which we were also eyeing earlier. So all the more reason for us to have not chosen to buy a bunch of things from the shop right from the get-go. There's always that chance that you might find some good stuff when you're out looting. So, as for who ought to have +1 strength, that gives a little bit of extra damage with attacks. Now, Dugan is a little bit more offensively oriented than Mardek at the moment. That might be reason to go further in that direction. Could potentially get rid of, or swap, Dugan's copper ring, which is giving a little bit of defense, to Mardek instead, so that Dugan can get more attack damage. Or you could make a similar case for balancing things out a little bit more. And it seems that basically every single enemy in here is faster than us, so that is a little bit of a problem, because it does mean that seemingly always Dugan is going to be taking little hits here and there. Now we can of course heal him with Mardek's ability. Let's do that. Gets him up to full HP. Now granted, the bandit had a potion himself. We'll see, however, if we can finish the bandit off. We can, while having healed Dugan up a bit, so hopefully that will put us in a little bit better shape, and we also get a potion for ourselves. Now, I was gonna say, wasn't super clear as to whether this was going to be the way to do this dot over here, or if this was going to be a dead end, and it is a dead end with a chest and a whole lot of money, so that will be even more helpful if and when we do make it back to town and look to purchase some things. Let's see what all this stuff going on over here is about. Oh, except a quick fight against another bandit before doing so. And Dugan doesn't even power attack. It takes him out in one hit. So there you have it, Dugan with the Ring of Strength. Not bad, not bad. Oh, what is happening here? Skeptical Miner.
This is stupid. What are you doing? You're making us look for something that isn't here. I'm telling you, these are non-magic gems. They're worth a pretty penny, but they ain't no magic crystals.
Chief told us a magic crystal in here. Probably, there probably is. Dig harder, Summit. We need to find for some reason. Chief wants it. Oi, bandits, we're here to stop you. Leave these miners alone. Damn, the guard are onto us. You, go and warn the chief. I'll handle these ones. But there's probably more of them somewhere else in the cave. That's how they usually do things. How does he know? Now, guards, you stand no chance against me, because I'm actually 4 blokes. What? We didn't sign up for this. And then, of course, they are all faster than us. They take a turn of absolutely wailing on us. Can we get rid of one of them in one fell swoop with a power hit? Possibly. Almost, but not quite. Now, are we feeling comfortable enough with where our HP is to take a shot at this other bandit? We are. Don't need to heal up just yet. Which makes it so that round 2 of them taking shots at us, not quite as bad as round 1 was. And let's see if we can keep things going here. You are next. I think we're still good without healing here. Each progressive round, they will get a little bit weaker as we thin their numbers. Dugan, not looking so good this time, though. We'll continue to use him offensively, and then we'll likely use Mardek's heal so that Dugan can be in a little bit better shape. However, you could make the case that with only 1 bandit remaining after this, that chances are Dugan will still be okay. We'll play it a little bit safe, though. Now, of course, they choose to opt for Mardek, and Bandit opts to use his potion. No. Get out of here. None of that. Alright. Last bandit remaining, or are they all technically the same bandit? I don't know. All this shape-shifting, 4 blokes in one business. It's a little too much for me to handle. We could heal with Mardek here. Let's deal a little bit of damage, though, and maybe on our next turn we'll heal. Although, in all likelihood, Dugan is about to deal the finishing blow here, if he does not miss, and if I don't miss reaction. So I suppose, yeah, we'll take another shot at him. Mardek, unlikely to finish him off, because he is not as strong as Dugan, and is not using power strikes. The heal... Oh, it's enough for our opponent here to hang on with 1 HP. Sure, let's poke him. There we have it. 40 gold that time. And down go the bandits? I don't know. Thanks for saving us there. We owe you one. I hate these bandits. They came here and forced us to mine gems for them, because their chief is looking for the legendary crystals. Ha! You might as well try looking for Yalort or Father Piglimus. They're just stories. Yay, I'm a miner! Thanks, miner. And there we have some more potions as well. We could theoretically use. Let me double check. How did we finish that fight? Yeah, Mardek has seen better days. Now, of course, when Mardek does use his heal ability, it does use some of his MP, which means that he's not on full of that either. However, we are able to use that ability outside of combat as well, so if we want to, we can heal Mardek up to full here, and Dugan's looking okay. So maybe we save the MP. And carry on here. I believe we've gotten every chest in this area. Let me double check real quick. That we have. And away we go. What do we find here? Another area in the caves, in the mines, and another chest. 4 potions. We are loading up on them. With Mardek's healing ability, fortunately, we don't have to use them too often. Okay, now here's another example of, well, this looks like the quote-unquote correct direction. However, are we gonna see some winding paths that mess with our brain a little bit? Let's try going this way. It looks like that is not the quote-unquote correct direction, and that we ought to find some decent loot down here, but I might be wrong. A mana berry, healing some MP, and that, given how we've been using some MP on Mardek, is probably something that is better used on Mardek. And a Phoenix down is actually very good. So remember, we were looking at this in town not long ago. It allows us to revive a KO'd enemy, or rather, ally, hopefully, with half HP when they go down. So, if things go awry, then that is possibly a good route for us to take. And what do you know? Turns out that this route actually did end up going the way we didn't necessarily want to go first. Let's make sure we pick up all the chests before we make our way over there. The maximum loot, which may of course mean that we run into a few extra bandits here, and you'll notice that some bandits are different levels, or some enemies in general are different levels. So of course, level 4 bandit is a little bit stronger than the level 3 bandit, does have more HP, and Dugan, with the power attack, seems like was generally dealing not quite enough damage to take out enemies in one hit with that, but with Mardek finishing things up right after that, we can make it happen. On the weaker enemy, however, it is possible. And we'll get another potion there, not bad. So we'll head back on up and around. And don't forget, we are also leveling up our offensive and defensive reactions too. So in addition to getting the experience, some of the loot, ooh, and there's a copper ring, which we were eyeing before with Dugan, and then swapped it over to Mardek once we got the silver pendant. We do have another one now. It gives 1 defense. Might it be worthwhile to swap that for something else here? The Ring of Strength seems like that's been doing a pretty good job with, or Dugan's been doing a pretty good job with that, so that might not be something we want to take off there. The Cog Necklace is something that we're slowly getting Mardek to level up with, or I should say, gain experience with, and will ultimately learn the Insomnia ability, which will allow him to be immune to the sleep status effect, even when he does not have it equipped. I think, in this instance, it might make sense for us to keep the Cog Necklace on Mardek. Once he does learn that ability, then we'll swap in the Copper Ring, or anything else that we might happen to get in the meantime. Because that is more or less the only purpose for the Cog Necklace. Ooh, and a new enemy here is to, when he's wearing it, have the immunity to sleep, and then hopefully make it so that long-term he can learn that ability permanently as well. Let's take a look here. It's a Drillian? Probably a Drillian. Also, Earth Elemental, whole bunch of Earth resistance, and whole bunch of Air weakness. It is also just barely faster than us. It actually has 100% resistance to blind, I think that is. May or may not be, because it does not appear to have eyes. But anyways, let's see if we can hit this with a Power Strike. Unfortunately, we cannot. So we'll get another attack, and oh, quite a strong one at that. And it lowered our defense. That is a special ability that this particular monster has. There we go, we took it out, and that is enough to give Dugan a level there. And Mardek also got the offensive damage reaction. Now remember that whenever someone defeats an opponent, they get experience. Oh, does this move around? I suppose we could have gone either way. Yeah, actually, it does. So remember that when you take out an enemy, the person who deals the finishing blow gets a little more experience than everyone else, but everyone else does still get experience. That is probably why Dugan leveled up first. He's presumably gotten more of those killing blows. So here's go. I should go. Should I go in and tell the boss? I don't know how he'll react. I mean, could be in one of his bad moods and shoot me for being a herald of bad news, or maybe I could get promoted to sub-bandit chief? Bandit sub-chief? Is there such a thing? I don't know, though. It's a big gamble. I'm so scared. Though, if I stay here, maybe the guard will catch up to me, and that's worse. It sure is. What? Guards! They found me! Bugger and blast! Are you going to kill me? Okay. Full disclosure. Minor spoiler here. Obviously, we have two options here. Well, that's what we're here to do, so yes, we are. Or, well, not if you surrender and leave peacefully. This may look like a little playful decision. Turns out, actually, arguably, the most important decision in the entire game. No joke. So, it is actually critically important that we choose this option here. I never wanted to be a bandit, you know? It's just, I'm an orphan, you see, and I've always been an outcast. Never anywhere to go or any education to get me a good job. Banditry seemed like all I could do, seeing as how I was already good at stealing, because I had to steal to survive when I was a little boy, you see. But, I never wanted to hurt people, honest. Okay, we don't need to hear your life story. I can tell by your tone, though, that you're being honest enough. So go on. Go away. Get out of here and start a new life. Go. Yes, sir. Well, if only we could handle all of them like that. If only. Okay, so we'll save here, which is fortunate because that also allows us to heal up a bit after fighting a series of bandits and other monsters of various varieties. And I think this is probably a good place for us to wrap up here because we are making our way through the cave and who knows what might await us on the other side of this opening. So, I will see you all in the next one.